it stands for, and then I'm going to roll a little video so people can see the process of sort of Tony going through this, getting hammered by these things, and then how they made their way into the programs themselves.
Yeah, so PAP stands for post-activation potentiation. And what it is this concept that if you combine a power movement with a strength movement, and the strength movement precedes the power movement. So you do a split squat. You do a split squat movement, and then you combine it with a power movement that involves similar muscle groups, like a jump split squat. Then you get more muscle cells involved in that exercise. You create more power. If we went straight into that split squat, there's a certain amount of nerves and muscle cells that are just asleep. They're just dead weight. They're just along for the ride. But if you precede it with the strength movement, you essentially wake up those neurons, and you get those muscle cells that are normally dead weight. You get them engaged, and so you create more power. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it's really, this is one of the hottest things in sports science right now. It's been studied like crazy over the last 10 years, especially out of Germany and out of Great Britain, out of Australia, and now out of the U.S. It's been studied over and over and over and over. Absolutely real phenomena. You precede a power movement with a strength movement, you get bigger power output. So that's sort of at the core of this PAP concept.
Kerry, can you roll that video, because it's not rolling for me up here. I want people to see some of the variety of those moves.
And it can involve almost any strength and power move, but the key is that similar muscle groups are engaged. Similar muscle groups from the strength movement into the power movement are engaged. So this is Tony at our place.
Good time.
Humana.
Yeah, hop on the ball, your foot in two directions for 30 seconds. It doesn't look like much.
Now, why does the PAP program, the PAP aspects of P90X2, why did we build it so late into the program versus weave it throughout the 3 phases?
Well, I mean, it's intense training. I mean, it's really intense. It involves all these proprioceptive feedback mechanisms, lots of balance. I mean, your body has to be pretty engaged to be able to execute these movements. And so we want to build a base in strength. We build a base in plyometrics. We work on ground contacts a lot. How your foot interacts with the ground is incredibly important. These are, I think these are, there's athletes around. There's some other P90X people around in most of those. But essentially, you need to build a foundation before you throw somebody into this PAP type training. And we do that even with our athletes. You know, if we bring in a pro athlete, we're going to do some foundation work before you throw them into these PAP circuits.
Now, an athlete, okay, you know, somebody who has gotten to a specific level of the sport, make it through the collegiate ranks, get, you know, be with the best of the best. It shocks me. You would just expect that these guys would have this stuff dialed in. I mean, again, when I talked to Isabel about when she would train with, she would train Maurice Green and these Olympic runners and stuff, and to find out the degree to which she had to train them to explode out of the blocks and stuff, just the smallest moves that they still hadn't mastered. Is that what they're coming to you for? And it's hard for me to believe then that a DVD program could actually be that valuable to these guys at this level.
You know, like I said a minute ago, we've had pro athletes in almost every sport show up at our place and tell us that they've been doing P90X. And once we started talking about getting involved and me taking over the scientific advisory board, and then after I committed to this, when I hear that, I'd start laughing a little bit. You know, they see me giggling, and usually the response is something like, "No, that's a real shit, man. That's not."